Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. Trust me. You ain't got nothing to be nervous about. This is our safe space.
I, yeah, I know. It's I guess because telling like just oh, because I'm not even talking about like weight and like food, like nutrition and stuff like that. That is an important part of obviously the PCOS journey.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm going over the stuff that I'm gonna talk about, it's like like we're going over trauma. We're going over transphobia here. Like we're talking about like I got so I've been trying to figure out what parts to I like, which part should I tell? Which part? It's a lot. Like so and so I'm just like, okay. Uh
It's
but
okay.
yeah,
Take your time.
calm yeah,
Take
I've
it.
calmed down since I'm doing better. So
Get us some music on in here real quick.
but
So where you from?
yeah. My friend show I'm from Memphis where
Memphis.
I think I just saw on your thing you're from Kentucky.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. From Little Oak, Kentucky.
I was when I was at because I went to TSU like the first couple of years of my when I was going to college, and like folks will always go to Kentucky like for the weekend, and I said I want to go up there. I never still haven't been up there, but I know folks yeah from Kentucky. They cool,
Yeah.
they all cool.
A lot of people think that it's just farms out here. And although there is farms out here, there's city life.
Now
I
I knew
don't
folks
live
from
on no
Louisville,
farm,
so
Lord. I don't know what I
they
would do. Actually, I wish I did live on the farm. A lot of stuff would be cheaper, but nah, it's a lot of
living
cities
on a
out
farm
here.
expensive if you got animals.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, that's how they be making their money, though. That's how they
True,
make their
true,
money.
but I
So
like
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start recording.
I ain't gonna lie. I get in my old age when I get up in retirement age. Oh, okay.
Let me see. You can continue what you were saying, though. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up these questions real quick. Can you hear the music?
No, I was saying, I said when I get up in my like retirement. Um, no,
How about now? Can you hear the music now?
I cannot. What are you playing it out of?
Well, I was playing it through the mic. No shade. I was playing it through the mic.
Yeah, that's why you probably gotta. I'm gonna say, what's your output? If your output is
I'm gonna have to change it. We start in 2026 off with a lot of stuff going on, so this is one of the things that I still need to touch bases up on a little bit of everything because I think I left off last year, and I was still testing the waters and figuring out exactly how I wanted to move things. But I really appreciate you so much for just being an advocate and just being able to come on here and voice yourself because I know you said that you was nervous and as easy as it looks for me, I'm also nervous too because people gonna see this, people gonna see us, and we are the beginning
yeah,
representation of what a lot of women are gonna see as the new norm because we're creating that for not only ourselves but for other women like us.
yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I really appreciate you having this platform for people who probably like me who weren't didn't know who to talk to, where to go, or where to speak out. And so, thank you
No,
for
same.
adding that.
I was one of those people. Like, trust me, I was definitely one of those people, and it just came to a point to where I had to figure out what can I do, where can I go, who can I talk to, because it's not fun being by yourself and nobody really understands the things that you're going through and your body's going through mentally, physically, emotionally because it affects our emotions too. So, yeah, it I just my that's my goal is to bring all of us together, as many of us as possible, even the women who don't even know that they have PCOS. Because if anybody's watching, I think it is 70% of the women go diagnosed every year, and out of 1 in 10 women, they have PCOS and they don't even know it.
Yeah. Um, if I can remember it, the statistics were around that. And it's sad. Like, I knew people that didn't know until they were like 18. So now that's pretty young, but I was diagnosed way younger. But some people don't know until they're like 20s, 30s, and they get diagnosed, misdiagnosed with other things. Um, and it's a lot, and it's we still, doctors say they still don't even know everything about it. They don't know where it comes from, doesn't know where it originates. It's still a work in progress.
That is true. That is definitely true. You say you was diagnosed. You was diagnosed when again?
So yeah, I was diagnosed when I was 13. Um, but my symptoms started showing, I'd say between 11 and 12.
Mm,
12 for sure. That's when I have more of a hormonal PCOS type. And so um, I'll have, I started growing, just hair, like places like my chest and my face and things
mm-hmm.
like that. Um, and then, so then 13, that's when voice started to get a little lower, and that's when, okay, my mother took me to the doctor and was like, okay, we need to, see what's going on. And so that's when, they ran the test, and I officially was diagnosed with, the PCOS. And they gave me the PCOS package. That's what I call it, with the metformin and the spirulactone and all that. And it was in the birth control, of course. And so it was a lot. It's 13, so it was a lot with school and whatnot. With bullying and whatnot.
Of
So
course.
but yeah, it was around that time, so I'd say 13. Yeah.
I definitely went through it too. So
Um
I felt like a lot of us had
yeah.
dealt with it between the ages of like maybe 10, because a lot of us when was the I can't think of what I was trying to say. The first time that I was dealing with it was about around the same age. So I felt like a lot of us deal with it in between those ages and start seeing it.
Mhm.
But a lot of us, cuz I know that I didn't get diagnosed till about I was like 30. So super super crazy. Super
Uh-huh.
crazy. And
And see, that's what, and that, yeah, that's usually what I hear. Yeah.
it is not no fun at all. Trust me. So tell me, what do you think that the
Yeah.
people around you, you wish that people knew about you and about PCOS that maybe people don't know?
Mm, that the mood swings and the bad days, those are genuine.
Mm-hmm.
Like it took me a long time to realize, like, okay, this is part of your um hormonal disorder. Like, this is part of it, and you're gonna have those bad days where you don't feel like getting up. Like it's just, you might break down a little. You might be more a little more sensitive to things. And so yeah, it was that was a big thing, like trying to, I guess, and it was more of a self shame, like, oh, I felt just shame of, like, oh, after lashing out on people, but like, this is just not a good day for you, you're bloated, whatever. And I'm pretty sure you've had days like that where it's just like, leave me alone, like, I'm just not feeling it, but you try to blame it on other things. Because I mean, even in my experience, even doctors don't really, they just kind of just, they don't really take account into it. But every other research I see, that's part of it, like, that can it's a hormonal, you know disorder. So these can, um that, and generally, but other than that, I'm not gonna lie, I generally have a good support system behind me
Mm-hmm.
that, um understands how this goes, how PCOS is. I mean, and it's nothing that I can say like, oh, I've offended anyone, like really just fell out with anyone over it. The PCOS or anything that I can say, oh, I feel like I've been so misunderstood. The only other part where I can say I feel misunderstood, but it's not no anybody's fault, is with the shift in my voice. With me trying to, I don't know, vent to people or let people know how I feel. It's sometimes people don't always know what to say. People don't always know how to give the best advice. I mean, because what can you say to a little, a 13, 14, 15-year old girl like about that? I mean, you can just say, oh, be confident,
And to be
da da
honest, a
da da
lot of
da. But
people
it's like
they don't
y'all are
really
not there.
know.
Y'all are not
So
there.
how
So
can they give advice or help us if they don't even know it, you know?
yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of I felt that one right
yeah, and
there.
you can never. I don't think it's something people can really. Yeah, I don't think it's something people can really understand. I had to. It took me, like I said, it took me a long time to really embrace that and be mature about it. Like I had to go, go in therapy and whatnot. Like it took me a while. That was not overnight. But I had to stop blaming myself for that too. Like I just had to start embracing. Okay, someone. Uh, People may not always understand what you're going through, but they are with you. They are standing with you, and that was I had to start, realizing that was good enough for me.
Okay. So when your first so from your first reaction when you first found out you had PCOS until now, how was the perspective or how did your perspective change over time, from then to now?
I didn't take it so as a as a kid. I didn't really take it that seriously. I didn't really understand the magnitude
Yeah.
of what was going on, and excuse me. And so um when she first said it, and I even wrote about this in my in my college essay. It's so funny. I use it for my college essay. When the doctor first told my mom, I didn't even know what she was saying. I couldn't understand her well. My mom had to explain it to me, and I'm so serious. My mom had to explain it to me when we got home, and we pretty much, I don't know, like it was, she was saying PCOS. I'm just like, okay, so I got cysts on my ovaries. That's the general basis of what I understood. The cysts on my ovaries, from what I gathered, um, I have insulin resistance, didn't know what that was. And that I may or may not be able to have kids um in the future. That was generally what I gathered as a 13-year-old, and that was the reason why my hair was growing and why my voice was deep. That was the main two I was worried about as a 13-year-old girl. I wasn't thinking about kids. I wasn't thinking about nutrition. I was like as
Still
a
not thinking
13
about
year
no
old girl. And I'm
kids.
over here. It's like, okay, what no, what are we? I'm oh God. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing about this hair? What are we doing about this voice? Like, I'm like dead serious about that. And they were just like, oh, take the spirulactone. It'll slow down, and it does. I will say spirulactone, and I later learned 2 cups of spearmint tea a day will slow down the hair growth if you deal with I think it's her. Oh, I don't
Hirsutism.
want to say the
Yeah. I'm gonna add that
Hirsutism.
to
Yes,
the
I was like,
screen.
I don't want to say it wrong. I don't wanna butcher
Yeah,
it. But
hirsutism.
yes,
I'm gonna add what you just said
yes,
to the screen. So if anybody wants to try these things that she's got, we open to all suggestions. Anything that you guys can have, y'all can put it in the comments as well. Go ahead,
yes.
Queen.
For sure. That's what I've always heard. 2 cups of spearmint tea a day. Cinnamon is really good for insulin resistance as well. Um, but yeah, but like I was saying, as a 13 like year old girl, it didn't really I didn't understand what this meant to me, what this was going to be.
Yeah,
So from there until now, I fully understand like this is a um I don't want to keep saying disorder, but I'm trying to find a good medical term for it. Um, mm, it is a, but it's a medical condition. It is a medical condition that you will just have to live with for the rest, possibly the rest of your life, since there
Yeah.
at this time is no cure. It can be reversed. I did learn that, growing, as I got older. But I will say, if I knew, and I hate to say this, if I knew what it was going to mean for me at 13, what experiences I was going to go through in those years to come,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know, not gonna lie, where my mindset would have been at that time. My mindset wasn't even good the next year as a 14-year-old. And so it I it was a it's bitter it's more bitter than sweet. I mean, you can try to make some lemonade out of the lemon. Like, people always say, "Oh, you should work with, do voice work, or you should do, this, that, and the third with your, announcing or whatever." And I'm just like, listen, I swear, I appreciate the support, but at the time, I'm just like, like I said, as a kid, or even as high school or college, it was just like, listen, I'm not trying to hear that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to hear none of it. Like, it was, and so, because I didn't have anywhere to channel, like, no one to really go to, like I said before, I started therapy, to really express this to. Um, I That's all I can really say. I wish it was a little more positive, but it's the truth. So
It's
that's that. But
okay because this we're here to speak our own truths because it needs to be heard because you never know there could be somebody out there who feels the same way and
yeah,
who lived through a little bit of it, so it's okay, it's more
yeah, no,
negative than positive, which is the whole point of us, wanting to get this out because we want women to understand how this is affecting our bodies and it's affecting our lives as well. So it can get a little deep.
yes, yes,
And just a
yeah.
fair reminder. I want to let you know that you're safe here. Don't worry. We are one together. We are sisters now.
I appreciate that.
Definitely.
So um, let me see. I'm sorry. Did you have? Go ahead. I'm sorry if you had a question.
You're fine. Is there something you would like to say? Of course.
I had Well, I had made notes. You're gonna listen. I prepared for this, honey.
Okay.
um. Okay. So, because when we were talking about just like you said, people who don't necessarily know that this is the type of issues that people face. What I research that I had done over the years, I had saw a lot of just generally people, and there's nothing wrong with this, and I realize this is an important part of, like I said, PCOS journey. A lot of the content and a lot of the groups that you'll see online are geared towards um, women who are trying to, you know, get pregnant. And like I said, that's all well and good. But I didn't, growing up, didn't see enough where that geared towards women who are simply just going through the issues of like that I've been mentioning. And so I wanted to um, have this, like, on, a platform that if girls are looking this up, who are that 13, 14, 15-year old girl who doesn't even, like you said, might not even be diagnosed, but knows something. I used to look up, I didn't even know, like I said, didn't even know if it was related to PCOS. I just would look up, oh, girl, deep voice girl, in YouTube. And so, and it wasn't too much content relating to it. And so, yeah, I, that's what I'm, and that's what I'm that's what I want to do here. And so there's a lot of women who aren't as affected. Like their symptoms are different. Like there's different. Like I said, I have the hormonal type or testosterone type, but there are some who only deal with like the bloating or who their most people's voice. Most women who have PCOS, their voice is perfectly fine. They didn't because mine. I think mine because it hit literally when puberty hit. That's kind of where it just
Girl,
passed.
I trust me, I
But
get it. Cause
um,
I swear they tell me all the time, oh,
mhm.
you're trying to make your voice deep. No, we're not. Like trying to talk high makes me trying to force it.
Okay,
It's my natural
listen, like
voice.
I legit have had. Listen, let me tell you. Okay, so I'm because I'm trying to look. Let me tell you. So I want to ask you because I really want to get to. This is why I started following you because I was like, okay, okay. Growing up, what did they say? Like, okay, what did they say in school? Like, when did yours start to really like, turn, like, get deeper and whatnot?
Well, I started having irregular periods. Well, okay, so I had my first period around 10. I started having irregular periods around 11-ish, 12-ish. And I was going to the doctor. And I personally felt like when they gave me birth control pills, it kind of made it worse. That's when I started seeing the acne, the
Mm-hmm.
hormone changes, the facial hair. And it was around middle school. I had no idea what was going on with my body, and it was just a lot of stuff that was going on, but they never really said, oh, they labeled it as this. It was just oh, you got a hormone imbalance and we're just going to
Yeah.
throw birth control at you. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of didn't really understand it because I didn't even know about it and get truly diagnosed until up until maybe 2 years ago, literally when I first came back to my city. So I still at that point had no knowledge about it until some friends on TikTok actually, because they opened up to it and they said, "Hey, you think you might have such and such?" I was like, "Oh, man, I possibly do, maybe." And then that's rest is just history. So
Yeah, man. That's and so you started doing the like TikToks towards PCOS like then or like 2 years ago, like and then it kind of just blew up from there.
hmm yeah, I knew what I had and I learned about it now, but back then I went. Okay, so let's say about 11 to about now. That's 20. That's about 20 years I done went without understanding what's going on with my body. Nobody could tell me, nobody could help me, nobody could point me to the right direction into knowing what was going on with my body.
That's sad.
So,
And that's really sad. And it's a lot of, and it's already bad enough because you know how African Americans, how we are with medical anything towards the medical field. Like we legit um are hesitant to go to the doctor and hesitant to get checkups. And so because of we the and it's not all our fault, it's because of things like that where we don't feel like we're getting the adequate help that we need. I still don't always feel like I'm getting the adequate help towards PCOS specifically. You have to go to a either gynecologist or endocrinologist or this doctor or that type of doctor, this
hmm
specialist, that specialist. You have to take all these supplements that like and it's all these different ones and you're trying to figure out which are the best for you. And it's a lot. Even when I would try to, you know, talk to the doctors that were giving me the just pushing out the metformin on me, um, they would just be like, "Oh yeah, let's just work on losing weight." They always say that let's just work on the weight loss, and you know, like you're not really like the difference. We have a difference like between me and you. Like you obviously are smaller, and so even and there's a lot of women who are smaller that have PCOS. And so what do as a doctor, what do you say to them? Like you have to do some more um, you know, tests or research into this and not just push it off as, oh, it's because you eat or indicator or
They
an
label
indicator
it
that
because we're
the
obese
weight
and we're
gain
not.
is because of the PCOS.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like the weight gain is a symptom of the PCOS, and people don't. A lot of people don't realize that. Even just people who aren't even in the medical field, people just always have an opinion on
N-
anything, and so
Seriously. And I can be
yeah,
the testing
it's
to show you that I used to be big, and I feel like even after I lost the weight, I still deal with a lot of hormone problems. You see the hair on my face hasn't stopped growing. There's still
yeah,
things that I'm still dealing with. So I feel like for them to tell us that just to lose weight, they might want to dig a little deeper because there's a lot of us out here that doesn't have any weight.
yeah.
We've lost the weight. Now what? What's next now?
Now I will say, um, the best advice that I have like repeatedly gotten, or just medical advice towards PCOS, has been people who have posted, who pretty much are like who doctors or people who are generally you have to take some things with a grain of salt. But I do follow people that show their research. They'll show the links. They'll show the you know documents or whatever where they're getting their research from, and they even have their own supplements. So um, I'll probably tell you. I'll send you their information. I didn't know if you didn't know
Of
if I wanted
course.
to promote them, but I'll definitely send you their information. And anybody, and you can give it out. Anybody who would like to follow them. Like I said, I really look into who I follow as far as PCOS content creators. So um, yeah, that was and that's another thing. Like all the supplements you have to take, like it's I'm still trying to figure out which ones are right for me. Like I've bought some here and there, but like you hear about like inositol, then berberine, like then NAC, and it's so many. But and I have like try to screenshot like, oh, which one is what for, but it's a lot to keep up with. And you're telling me I got to take like 5, 6 pills a day,
Exactly.
even for even if it's like like not prescribed. These are like things that are proven to be good for PCOS. This is something legit. This is our reality if we want to live a regular life, like with these symptoms. And I really, it's a lot. But I will say what has helped, what has given me a good turnaround is those GLP-1, and that is a lot of women's testimony that I've seen in groups with women who also have PCOS. I lost um, close to 50 pounds on terzepatide.
Okay.
That's one of the GLP-1 medications. Um, Now, it's like I said, it's different for everyone. There's different ones out there. Um, do your research. Definitely do your research on the companies if anybody is looking into a GLP-1. Um, but it has really helped me, and I'm kind of stopped. I got got into a relationship, got a little happy. That happy weight, you know how that goes. If anyone, and so now I gotta get back on it. You still do have to be active. You still have to go to the gym,
Okay.
but with gym and a good, obviously eating right, you can. I swear, even just like my periods came back, like you said, my periods came back regular. When I'm not eating good, that's when I know my period does not come. Even if I'm not on the GLP-1, if I'm eating good that month, like more nutritious, I'm getting my period that month. So that's how my body decides to work, and that's how a sign that it gives to me. So but yeah, the GLP-1s are very good. Can be very beneficial for women with PCOS, and that's even been, like I said, proven with research. Do your research, do your stats and whatnot. Do the knowledge, and so those and now like I said, I'll send you some more recommendations on supplements for, and isotalol is good for if for women who do not want to take metformin. Metformin, I don't know if they gave you that when you were officially diagnosed, but it's supposed to help with the insulin resistance. And but let me tell you, any woman who has taken it knows metformin. It's used to really treat like diabetic pre. It's a real diabetic medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Though the side effects, the side effects are not good. Your stomach will have other plans, as some of my boyfriend says. And you just it's for me it didn't make me feel good. Like it lowered my I think it lowered my what was it? Blood I guess my blood pressure or
Mm.
sugar. My sugar lowered it too low for me. So
Mm.
and inositol though was a good supplement I need to get back on. It's a good supplement for metformin. So
Yeah, that was the big one.
um
Yeah,
yeah.
that was definitely the big one. So, what is your go-to PCOS comfort food or your self-care ritual when you know you're having a tough day?
Wings. I love any of my friends can tell you I love some whole wings, honey hot
Period.
combo with the Kool-Aid mixed with a little lemonade. No, seriously.
That
Other
sounds
than
pretty
that,
good.
and oh yeah, yeah, make you get some, and get I get that, and then just do probably watch my favorite
I think, um, if I'm not mistaken, I think that it's timing us out anyways. It's just if you can hear me, I'm gonna pull you in and pull you right back in. I'm gonna pull you out and pull you right back in so we can start back up where we left off. Cause conversation is good, and I don't ever want to stop the conversation when it's good. So let me see real fast. Let me message her while we wait. Hey Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes.